The Mystery of the Money Pit Postcard, Part 3 by Daniel Spino and Charlotte Wheatley. In this final part of our series, The Mystery of the Oak Island Postcard, Compendium Investigations is focusing on the structure that was hidden in the Money Pit postcard picture. It was caught in a photograph that appeared in Worldwide magazine in May 1920. This photograph was taken at the same time as the postcard picture, but at a slightly different angle. Compendium Investigations has demonstrated that the photograph was taken in 1909 during the Old Gold Salvage and Wrecking Company operation. The photograph reveals what appears to be a roof of a house with a chimney in the middle of the roof, at a lower elevation. In Part 1, Compendium Investigations proposed that this hidden structure may have been John Smith's house. That was the alleged location of the elusive 90-feet stone. Compendium Investigations gathered information on what we know about the location of Smith's house and barn. In the Oak Island Treasure Company prospectus of 1893, there is a diagram that shows the general location of the house and barn in relation to the money pit location. This is the basis for many subsequent references to the location of both structures. This is also illustrated in the McFly reports. But according to Compendium Investigations analysis, this does not coincide with the location of the structure in the Worldwide magazine, Money Pit photograph. Further analysis was needed. According to the 1959 survey by Fred Nolan and George Bates, Pick 1, you can clearly see the old house foundation labeled in close proximity to the alleged Money Pit location. In newspaper articles, the house was noted as being 12 to 15 feet away from the Money Pit, although this seems to be an error and was 45 further feet away than that measurement. The Roper survey of 1937, Pick 2, and the Lozier survey of 1916, Pick 3, both show this same foundation with certain variations that confirm the foundation's existence. Is there any more evidence to support this structure's location? There have been no known photographs of John Smith's house. In reports compiled by researcher Les McFay, he used a photograph that shows a structure with a note, Smith's house. It is also labeled Money Pit Area from South Shore Cove 1860s. McPhee's source for this photograph was The Oak Island Mystery by R.V. Harris in 1958. In studying the photograph, Compendium Investigations is confident in saying the structure is not John Smith's house, but his barn. It is somewhat deceptive because of the angle from which the photograph was taken from the South Shore. It is also apparent that the photograph was taken in 1909 and not the 1860s by the rigging and buildings shown in the photo. Compendium Investigations has found numerous errors by R.V. Harris in his information and have found him not to be a reliable informant for information regarding Oak Island. During our investigation, an aerial photograph from the summer of 1931 with the Chapelle shaft visible caught our attention. We studied several of these photographs looking for clues regarding this mystery. In the recent John Smith's Home of Secrets, short by The Curse of Oak Island, this photograph is detailed. It shows a pile of stones boulders that the crew believes are the remnants of John Smith's foundation. The crew used the Roper survey, that was referenced earlier, to locate what they believe was the location of Smith's foundation. Compendium Investigations concurs with our colleagues that this is possibly the remnants of that structure. Was it John Smith's foundation? It appears possible based on the surveys and sketches that our investigation has detailed, although it doesn't match the mystery structure that has been identified by the Worldwide magazine photograph. Compendium Investigations was able to locate a sketch from Gilbert Hedden's operation on Oak Island in 1935/36 that appears to show the location of the house in the Worldwide magazine photograph from 1909. This structure is labeled as Old Foundation on the sketch with well and money pit, labeled for reference. Hedden refers to this old foundation as being located in the hollow, which is the surrounding area which is at a lower elevation than the money pit area. Based on this information and the other surveys and sketches, it seems likely that there were multiple structures on Lot 18 owned by John Smith. But how can this be possible? In the article, Tracking Oak Island Treasure Following the Smith Family, by Doug Crowell and Kel Hancock of the original Blockhouse blog, they wrote, he, John Smith, purchased Lot 18, the Money Pit lot, in June of 1795, and the deed is written in such a way as to infer that a structure already existed on this lot, and stories say he used the 90-foot stone as part of the fireplace in the new house that he was building. Compendium investigations found the deed, and it reads as follows. Lot of land situated lying and being on Oak Island, in the township of Chester and county aforesaid, being known by lot number 18 and described by running south 30 degrees west, on the west line 66 rods, on the east line 63 rods containing 4 acres more or less with all the buildings and improvements thereon, and all rights, privileges, advantages, trees, wood, watercourses, and other appurtenances there is belonging. Is there more evidence to suggest pre-existing? Buildings were on Lot 18 in 1795. In a letter from John Hunter Duvar of the Historical Society of Nova Scotia to George Cook of the Oak Island Association in 1864, he asked about the 90ft stone. It was mentioned by Mr. Cook in a newspaper article regarding Oak Island. Mr. Cook replied, about 40 years ago, 1824, at a time when nothing was doing at the island and AMP, when the prospects of the treasure seekers appeared altogether hopeless, Mr. Smith built what was then called his new house. In building it, he found that this interesting stone would suit admirably a corner in the back part of the chimney, the flat side out. 14 years ago, 1850, Mr. Smith pointed out the stone then and AMP, I believe still in the chimney, and assured me that it was the identical stone taken out of the money pit on the island in his presence. There are other references that suggest a new house or new farmhouse was built by Smith on Lot 18. It should be noted that Fred Nolan made a special treasure map of Oak Island, and on this map, he had a very interesting landmark. It shows site of Smith Homestead 1804. How could this be the site of Smith's homestead when he didn't build his new home on Lot 18 until 1824, some 20 years later? Based on the evidence, it is Compendium Investigation's opinion that there was indeed a pre-existing house that was near the money pit. John Smith lived in this house and started raising his family of 13 children, although 6 died on the island. This may be the reason why Smith built another home further away from the money pit for safety reasons. We believe that this new home was captured in the Worldwide magazine article photograph and is the only known picture of Smith's house that held the 90 feet stone. This suggests that the location of the money pit was known prior to 1795. This reinforces that the origin story of the 3 boys finding the money pit was pure fiction and raises major questions about what happened on Oak Island. It should be noted that Compendium Investigation's report called The Real 90 Feet Stone proposed that the Tory stone may be the original 90 feet stone. The idea that the stone originated from another structure located in the area was also put forth. Considering the deed for Lot 18 mentions buildings, this has now become a stronger possibility. Compendium Investigations will update our readers about this developing story as we uncover new evidence. We hope you enjoyed our series. Please watch for updates as they are discovered. Please visit http://www.theoakislandcompendium.com for the entire series and more information. Good day from the Compendium. Daniel and Charlotte.